Hey everybody. Okay, I am on the question and answer page. The first comments are from aw, Vejan. I love her. Love her. Um, she says, I love your braids like that. You know what? I wear my hair a lot like that, actually. And a lot of times like I'll wear my Jeep or my Mustang hat, so it's like I don't know. It stays out of my way because it's really long. Hey, that's a pretty good look. Mm. When Princess Sprout comes over, she likes to like do a mustache with my hair, and when I have it in braids, we'll both do mustaches, and then we'll give each other kisses. Silly. Okay, what is your favorite food? You know what? I am forever walking around with mangoes in my hand. Like I love mangoes, and pineapple is probably a close second. So probably mangoes. And it's horrible because like I have acid reflux so bad, GERD. It's horrible because those are like so acidic. Ugh, but I love them. I love them. What's something you would want to do but never actually done? I know. I already know right away. I want to go skydiving. Like I said when I was heavy and I lost weight, I said when I lose 100 pounds, I'm gonna go skydiving. And then I never got the opportunity to go. I was broke. But yeah, that's what I would love to do. I want to go skydiving. Um, what type of videos do you like to watch the most? You mean on YouTube or like movies? On YouTube, I love Joe Vegan. I love Dom Bauer. I love your channel. Um, gosh, you know what? I've really narrowed it down to like you guys. Um, that's about it. I really I've learned really quickly that you can't, unless I'm in it for like the gossipy, like what the hell is going on now. Um, but I learned really quickly that you can't trust any diet stuff, any vegan stuff that you find on YouTube. I learned that really quickly, and as mean as people were to me at first, I left all vegan channels and I started doing my own thing because I thought, they're just so mean and they're really judgmental. So I just didn't want to be bullied, and so I stuck to the channels that I knew people were nice. So that's how I ended up with you guys. Um, and you always have like really good content. Veg Ann, she touches on everything. It's awesome. Um, what type of videos do you like to watch the most? Oh, I just answered derp. Okay. Let's see, magic. What's Princess Sprout? Princess Sprout is the 2-year-old that I babysit a couple days a week for my best friend. And I made a promise to her parents that I would never say her real name or show like video of her online. Because she is 2 and she's not my child. So, and I started calling her Princess Sprout because every week we go to the dollar bill store and I let her pick out a toy or something, whatever she wants. And one week we were at the dollar bill store and she saw the vegetable seeds and she loves vegetables. And so I thought they're dollar bill store seeds. Nothing's going to come up anyway. So let's just, plant a little garden for her. And if anything does come up, she can see where her food comes from. So that's what we did. And she called them her baby plants because they were little tiny, when they first come up. And when stuff first started coming up, like all these little seedlings, and I thought, uh-oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe some of it is going to grow. And I thought, no, the sun will kill it off. Well, my kids, who are adults now, My youngest is 23, that's my son, and I have a middle son, he's 26, my daughter's 28, and they all love her. So when the sun started getting too hot, they took like 2x4s and made a shade. She calls it her baby plant's house. It's a shade thing, and it's got flaps on each side, so it really, blocks the sun out. Then everything was like, phew, just shot up, and I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, that's where she got the name Princess Sprout. So it's her little garden. Judy said she was afraid to ask what a Princess Sprout was. Yeah, that's Princess Sprout. Okay, Stephanie Calhoun says, how did you start your YouTube channel, and do they charge you? They don't charge you. And yes, you absolutely should start one for she has my 31 bags business. Yes. Start a channel. I started it because I had one of the last groups that I started for fibromyalgia was on Facebook. And so people had questions and they wanted to see, like, me personally. And so I thought, well, I'll check out YouTube. And so that's how I got started, like, years ago. And then I kind of, like, wasn't real comfortable doing videos. And it really, really showed. Like, I didn't want to do them. And then it was like I kind of dropped out of sight for a while and kind of got on with life. And then I came back looking for information on vegetarian. So when people started being so rude, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start up my fibro channel again. Because when I started that on Facebook, people just came out of the woodwork, like, they wanted help. They wanted to know, my experiences with it and to help them. So I found out really quickly that, there's a lot of people out there seeking answers, and not just a channel that, bitches about what they're going through every day, but someplace they can get real information. So that's why we're here today. Because I really want, my YouTube channel to be like a support group setting, where people can just ask me anything and know that, I'll come back and I will answer them, Not just one of these channels that you post a question and it's like crickets, you don't hear anything. So I wanted to be really interactive with my channel and my subscribers. So that's how I started it. Would you mind showing... Oh, Marie November says, would you mind showing us photos from your childhood and teenage years? You know what, Marie? I couldn't find any of me. I'm going to have to go through and see if I can find my own old photo albums. But I found some from when I was heavier. Because like I said, I was at one point 325 pounds. So these all have my sister in it, which is really weird. Really weird. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that. I'm like sitting on my sister's shoulders, trying to hold her down. And the dog was like, kept lifting his leg trying to pee on her. So there was no way in hell I was letting her up. So that's me. My hair's gotten darker over the years, as you can see. It was super light. And then this one, obviously that's me right over here. And she and I were fighting over my mom's peanut M&Ms. And then I don't even know how my mom distracted us, but she had us both looking outside at the same thing for the same reason, or I don't know what we were looking at, but yep, that's us. And I would never ever wear that Cowboys shirt now. I am such a Raiders fan that's just horrible. But yeah, that's me. And even then, I wasn't a full, like, I wasn't even up to 300 in that picture. So, yep, that is me. So sometimes I think people think like, oh, she's lying. She was never that heavy. No, I really was that heavy. Okay, let me put this way. Okay. Kelsey M. New subscriber here, so I'm not sure if you've talked about this stuff before. In the call out to Julia video, you mentioned homeschooling your children. How did you make that decision? Oh gosh, she says, I don't know anything about the school systems in Vegas as I'm from the Northeast. My kids were all born in the Northeast, in Virginia. And I grew up in Texas, so go figure. And went to charter schools for middle and high school. Would love to hear about your thoughts on schooling. For me, it was the right thing to do. I felt like as a mom, like I put in all this hard work, raising them. And I didn't want them to get into school and have peer pressure or, bullshit take that away from them. And so at first I thought, we'll just try it for a little bit. And then, if it's not going well, I'll put them in school. But no, it went wonderful. So, we've never my kids have never been involved in, drugs or, teenage pregnancies on either side. My boys have never gotten anyone pregnant. My girls never gotten pregnant. So it was just a great experience for all of us. I would highly recommend it to anyone because there's so many resources out there. There really are. I mean, like when my kids were young, we had the library. My daughter was born in 1988, so, we didn't have Windows. I think Windows was just coming out. No, Windows was coming out when my son was born in 93. Or at least that's when we got word of it. But yeah, so I mean, there wasn't a lot of resources back then like there are now. There's so many things online. And then we did, as they got older, we did a thing called unschooling. As long as they had the basics, they had to have their math, their English, their grammar, all the basics, the fundamentals. And then this is the tricky part for a parent, is sitting back and watching and seeing where their gifts lie. What do they like to do? And with my son, it was just no-brainer. He had been playing Nintendo, the original Nintendo, since he was about probably 2 years old and could hold a controller. And then he started, I would give him, old alarm clocks or clock radios, things like that too. He always wanted to see how things worked. And he would take them apart and, see if he could fix them. And he got pretty damn good at it. So his thing was electronics. And to this day, he still builds computers. My daughter was kind of along that same wavelength, but then she went software. So she can code like crazy. You know how people use programs? Well, she programs the programs. So that's kind of cool also. My youngest son, total jock. He was the tough one to figure out because the kid just walked around with a football in his hand. Like he'd do his schoolwork and then be like, okay, bye. Wait, where are you going? He's my social butterfly. I would take the kids up for a walk, or I would go for a walk with the dog or something. And one of my neighbors way down the block would be like, oh, you're Logan's mom. I don't even know you people. And how do you know my kid? Well, every year we had a huge Halloween party out in front of my house that, all the neighborhood kids. I think the first year we had 60 kids over. Then by the time my kids were older, it was 160. So, yeah, the whole neighborhood, knew my kids and knew us. So, but yes, that's what homeschooling is about. You have to really, really be involved. And that's kind of the beauty of it too, It was fun. So, anyway, that's it. That's it. I'm all finished for my question and answer session. So, but thank you guys again so much for subscribing, and I'm so glad that you're here. And it's just really awesome every day knowing that I can grab my coffee, and it's like sitting down to read everybody's comments, and it's like having coffee with everybody. So you guys have definitely made my days happier. So much love to you guys, and see you soon.